Ah, fuck. I wanted to learn how to code, so I set myself a challenge to see how far I could come in 7 days. I have had some experience in coding, mainly C# and Java, but then I came across JDH's video, where he said that,
And even though I'm still not the biggest fan of OOP everything, looking at you, Java,
so that's the reason why I started learning C++ instead of Java. And yes, it's just so I don't disappoint some random guy on the internet. I started with going on Code Academy, learning their beginner C++ course. I recommend starting with Code Academy because it teaches you all the basics and the syntax of the language you're using. In the course they go through many different things like variables, logic, loops and everything in between. All the stuff you know with coding. The one thing I didn't really understand in the course was references and pointers, which will really become a big problem later on. But at the end I completed it. Then after Code Academy, then I installed Visual Studio Code, which is the new place I will be writing my code. Now I needed to decide what I wanted to do next. And surprise surprise, I decided I wanted to make a game. I went with a library called SFML. For those of you that don't know, a library is a bunch of pre-written code that you can use in your code without having written it yourself. In this case I'll be using SFML, which is a 2D graphics library, so I can draw 2D sprites easier. I struggled with setting this up since I didn't use Visual Studio beforehand, and this was my first time importing anything into Visual Studio Code. After I set everything up and downloaded everything, I could now open a brand new window with nothing on it. Now all the very fun stuff would begin, all the bugs and errors. I started with trying to make a level that you can play on. I wanted to make snakes, so I tried making a snake-like level. So I made a few sprites and started trying to code it. After a bit, I had something that looked like I was getting somewhere, but it just wasn't getting anywhere. I tried figuring out why, and after an hour I found out that my pixel size was wrong. So that was an hour I won't ever get back. I finally got it working, but if I had it open too long it would crash because I didn't have enough memory. And that means that I had a memory leak somewhere. And that's why not understanding references and pointers really was a big problem, because somewhere I didn't reference or point to the right thing, and that was causing my memory to leak and making the application crash. I spent almost 2 days trying to work this out, and after a lot of redos I finally did something that worked, and I still don't know what. And this is all that I managed to do in the 7-day period. I learned a new language and I made a level. This should be more realistic results than the parts you see on YouTube. Even though I spent 7 days on this, I only used about an hour or two every day, and I still need to do a game loop for it actually to be a game. This is something I want to try at some point, but right now I'll take a break from it. If you like this video, then click on this. This is my most recent video, and goodbye.